Hello, this is an August Förster grand piano, 185 centimeters long, made in 1926. It's a piano that we restored for a client in 2014. They're moving house and haven't got room for it, so we've brought it into stock. August Förster had factories in Lobau, Saxony, Germany, and Georgesfeld, Bohemia, Czechoslovakia. Excuse my pronunciation if it's not quite right. The clients kept the piano really well, very fastidiously, and since it was polyester in 2014, very few scratch marks on it. Our team's going to eradicate or try and eradicate any scratches that there are on it. This is where they often occur, where the music's been put, but there's no scratches there at all. Actually, the piano hasn't been used very much, as we'll see from the hammers, so it could be that they haven't put much music on it, but you can see some light scratching, which we'll try to get rid of. And round the sides, well, it's all pretty perfect, so obviously you can't, the black's very reflective, so it's reflecting everything else that's in the shop, but really the case where it's perfect or near perfect. Now the key tops are ivory and they are slightly yellowed, as you can see. We could obviously replace them with modern material instead, but obviously it's nice to keep ivory if you can. And just showing you the ones that contrast the most. There's a couple there. We could possibly try scraping and polishing them, and that might work. They are already polished. Scraping them might take off some of the yellow, but we normally don't do that unless we're requested. The acoustic side of the piano is really in excellent condition. Just a few blemishes on the frame, as you can see hopefully here. There's one there, and apart from that though, it's really perfect. The tuning pins are very tight. I've tuned the piano to just double check, and it's very stable. A colleague of mine's been tuning it. It wasn't far away from Oxford, so we've looked after the piano. And just looking at the frame, it's beautifully designed. This firm was one of the most respected firms. Strauss and Prokofiev, Richard Strauss and Prokofiev apparently owned them, and several other musicians used them and praised them very highly. So excellent pianos. We're talking about ones at this era of 1920s particularly. That's the heyday of this piano, I think. Or maybe if you're used to August Förster, you might want to add your own comments, but there's the make, and you can see the places: Lobau, Saxony, and Georgesfeld, Bohemia, and the prizes that they've got too. It's nice to just come down and look at those as well. Not often you get such a wonderful logo, but some makes do this. Silo was another one that puts a beautiful logo on their soundboard, and I think the two factories, there's one there. Sorry, it's a bit dull to see here, but if you come and look at the piano, you'll see, or if you buy it, you'll be able to see them. They're very beautiful indeed, and the soundboard, as you can see, is in perfect condition. There's a serial number, and the Model 3 obviously refers to the length, so that we went 185 centimetres, the same sort of size as a Yamaha G3, for instance, and we'll compare it with the Yamaha G3 that we have in the shop. So in 2014 we fitted new Renner hammer shanks and rollers. Renner don't always write their name on the side here, but this period of time they were doing that in 2014. And you can see the new roller there. That's really important because rollers tend to wear, they go flat, and replacing the rollers makes a great difference. And we then talc them. These are going to be retalked because they need it. And the hammers, well, top quality Renner hammers, which is what we like to fit, Renner or Arbel hammers, one or the other, the two top makes of hammer makers in the world, I believe, certainly in Germany and Europe. So it's important to replace the shanks. Ideal if we can replace them, because then you get very even hinges. And actually the piano's absorbed a bit of moisture, so I've noticed the hinges vary slightly in tension, and that will affect the touch. So we'll be lubricating these, and also the lubrication needs doing on this balance rail here. If you lift the keys up, they should fall straight down. That'll affect the touch. It'll make it slightly lighter, and then we'll even out the touch afterwards. So the piano has been restored by us in 2014. The owners apparently brought the piano from new in Czechoslovakia, or the relations of the owners, and it's been imported to the UK. So it's been a family piano, one owner only, and then of course they sold it to us because they had to downsize, and that which often happens in the trade, that you get grand pianos back in. So we're going to lubricate the balance rail. I think this is the main work. So just fine regulation too, see if we can improve on that a bit. The casework, we'll just look at that, see if we can improve some light scratching on it. And then a few things here that my colleague's written down as well. And the touch weight, well, it's a little bit slightly heavy in there, if anything slightly light middle C there, so it varies a bit, and I think after it's been lubricated we can fine weight it if we need to. So lubricating both the hammers, they're just getting slightly tight, the rollers and the balance rail, which is what we're always doing. So let's compare the tone of this with the Yamaha G3 that we have in stock. This is Yamaha G3E, made in 1980, 185 centimeters, 6 foot 1 inches long. So that's an August Förster grand piano made in 1926, 185 centimeters long, that's 6 foot 1 inches long. And the tone of the piano is just beautiful, just like a typical German piano really. It's been refinished in black polyester, so it looks like a brand new piano really, just a few defects on the frame as I tried to show earlier on, but really that's the only thing that you could say was defective. And we put new hammer shanks and rollers with the best quality available, so it's like a new piano, very much so. And we'll get the touch like a new piano too. It's slightly uneven at the moment. We always aim to make the touch like a new piano, so that if you want to practice on it, it's as good as you can probably get it. Thank you very much for listening. If you're interested in the piano, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com. If you'd like to try the piano out for a while before you decide you definitely want the piano, then there's a scheme that we have to do that as well. Please write in and say what you'd like to do.